All right, welcome back to Bold in Belief, the official podcast of the NACPE. I'm your host, Mike Cunningham, accompanied along with Wes Morris. Good evening, sir. How you doing, man?
Good evening. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I'm excited to get into this conversation. It's going to be pretty good. What do we
We
have? What do we got going on?
we talked about this a little bit. This is call it our second go around discussing all this, but tonight we're going to talk about professionalism in the classroom. If I say that, tell me what you think
Yeah.
right off the bat. How you feel about that?
Well, yeah. The first thing I think about professionalism in the classroom, as far as a teacher, as an educator goes, it's kind of how you just behave in front of the students, I guess. And I think when everyone thinks about that, we want a teacher to be professional. That we don't want swearing, maybe TMI, too much personal information about the teacher's personal life going around the kids, stuff like that, focusing on education and not diving too much into politics and kind of pop culture issues going on. And I mean, when we go on TikTok or any social media, you'll see, certain social media accounts posting kind of the worst behavior that some teachers could exhibit. And, that stuff goes viral. So
Hmm.
we're all pretty familiar with unprofessionalism, right?
Yeah, it's easier
And
to
you and I
define,
were
right?
kind of talking about, yeah, it's easier to see that these days. And I mean, that's what this podcast is about. It's how do we focus on the teachers that are doing the right thing and being professional? So how would you define professionalism in the classroom?
Well, like I said, or you just said, the social media, it brings out all the bad, right? So being I think,
Yeah.
and I think that's who gets the attention. That's who gets highlighted. What I see as professionalism is being the teacher, keeping it age appropriate, not indoctrinating kids on your personal ideologies, your beliefs, whatnot. I think you ought to stick to what's expected. Um, I want to celebrate this
Yeah.
podcast and this episode. I want to celebrate those who are doing it
Yeah.
right, who have been doing it right, and there's thousands out there. So those that there's no question that you walk into their classroom and it's appropriate. It is professional. Kids are
Mhm.
learning. Kids are they're growing. You are not spreading your beliefs. And let's be honest, classes they can get hijacked without a doubt. Okay, kids can jump on and
Yeah.
start getting off topic. I get it. That's okay.
Absolutely.
But for a teacher to walk in and have their own agenda planned, and kids can bring that stuff to the table, and then for a teacher to allow it and to interact with
Yeah.
it, I think that goes against being a Christian patriot educator, is if you allow it and entertain it. So, what we're doing tonight is saying that we know there's some phenomenal teachers out there. There's great educators, but we're not having a parade for them. Those guys, they're not getting the celebrations that they so rightfully deserve. And to
Yeah.
talk about the ones that get the attention, just like any profession or any field, a small minority of the ones who are not doing it right, that just stains the whole. Uh, it's a bad apple situation.
Yeah.
So there's a bad cop. They're all bad. So
Hmm.
that's frustrating, okay? So,
Yeah.
at least can they follow district policy type deal on the discussions that they have and what they're learning? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, yeah, it's the teachers that seem to get attention are either the bad apples you see on social media or teachers maybe trying to get attention by talking about certain topics with students. They think they are virtue signaling is the term. You're trying to
Mm,
pretend you're a good person by talking about certain, maybe not age appropriate topics with students. So yeah, what does it mean to be a patriot Christian educator or even just a professional educator in the first place? I think it's staying neutral in the classroom. And there is a way to do that with and by kind of showing Christian beliefs. You don't have to open your Bible necessarily to do that.
mhm.
Just being a good person, being neutral. I mean, you were mentioning this earlier before the podcast. If you have some students that might be uncomfortable with certain topics, maybe you think you're helping a student by talking about sexual orientation or something like that. Meanwhile, you're kind of alienating most of the class that maybe doesn't know what that is. Their parents don't want them thinking or talking about that right now when they're 13 years old or younger. So, like I said, there's a lot to unpack in just what we've been talking about in the past 2 minutes, right?
Now, who's now uncomfortable, right? Those that are in the
Yeah.
class, they're a forced audience. They are now
Hmm.
witnessing a conversation that makes them uncomfortable, does not align with family values, does not align with their beliefs, but they're forced to be uncomfortable for the sake of making others feel comfortable. That makes no sense to me. So I think
Yes.
a professional educator would immediately shut that down. Not classroom appropriate, not age appropriate, no time, wrong time, wrong
Hmm.
place, a conversation. That should be dealt with your people, not here. And I think that's it's not hard. It's not difficult. Like I said, there's
It's
thousands of
not.
educators who are doing it completely right every day, and but just don't get the attention. So no, there shouldn't be sexual preference, gender confusion. Those topics, those conversations have no place.
Exactly. And if you really want to get into the legalese of it's a teacher goes to college, they're trained to be an educator, and that's it. They're not a therapist, they're not a psychologist.
Mm,
And if you have teachers trying to do that, I mean, where are we going to draw the line here? We can't have teachers doing that. It seems so simple, but we see people break it all the time, or cross that line all the time, I should say. So,
that they could do their
yeah, I mean, that's
job
what
without adding all that. You could be loving and compassionate and understanding and all that without adding all the extra stuff. There's just no place for it. Stick to the curriculum.
exactly.
So I think that's what's most important as far as the growth of a kid. That way they come to school every day. It's their right to have a safe environment and not be pressured and not have to listen to something that they don't believe in. Um, and we've already discussed like that offended conversation or that kid that is offended for that conversation. They now go home and now they bring that confusion or at least those conversations and are the parents even aware of what's being discussed at home? So now guess what that district has to deal with? You're just kind of snowballing into more issues, in my opinion, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what starts out as someone thinking maybe they're helping a student who feels alienated, it really alienates everyone else and causes more issues down the road. And that can all be solved just by being a professional educator in the classroom. And how do we celebrate these good teachers doing the right thing? And I think that kind of goes into what this organization's all about. We
Hmm.
want the educators who are doing the right things to feel that there's a community that supports them, and especially if they are Christian and if they're a patriot, that the NACPE is a great organization for them. And all teachers, and not just teachers, anyone that supports teachers doing the right thing is what it
So
comes down to.
there's our pitch. All call to all Christian
Yeah.
educators, highly qualified. You're maintaining a professional classroom. Hey, you've got a home. We're let's join up. Let's be a team. First, check us out on our website. Join. Um, you're focusing on academics, character, critical thinking. You're doing what you're supposed to. You've got the safe environment. You are establishing boundaries. Kids know that when they come in there, it's about business. It's not about getting off topic and talking about things we're not supposed to be doing. So you're the candidate, right? And it's
Hmm.
job fair season. It's approaching. Are you aware of this, Mr.
Yes.
Morris? So districts they're
Yeah,
looking
it
for
is.
people.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. It'll be here, it is now. People are the good ones. I'm afraid we lose some good ones, not just to retirement or
Mhm.
natural reasons, whatnot, but educators are leaving the profession. So these districts are looking to
Mhm.
refill these spots. And what a better place and time to be a part of the NACPE. And when that's on your resume and that's on your LinkedIn file, those districts that they can look it up and they'll know that there's someone that they're not going to cause these continuing issues that are so attractive on social media and get all the attention
Mhm.
of their behavior, demanding students to refer to them of their preferred pronoun and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, when you hire an NACPE employee or a member, that's not what we bring to the
Mhm.
table.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really good idea. So to help improve, you want schools improved. you got to hire really good, qualified, professional teachers that are going to do the right thing in the classroom. And that may come out the wrong way. It is what it is. Okay. But to
At
kind
this
of
point, it is what it
yeah,
is.
to reframe our whole point here, it's not hate or exclusion. It's just being professionalism and trying to save our kids from all the other issues that they're juggling. Times have changed. It's a little bit different. We just want to celebrate and highlight
Yeah.
those who are just amazing educators. Okay. And if we can have a strong enough educator community, this association would be phenomenal. Imagine all the voices we could have if we had all these great people join and we could speak up. You can do all the things that are required without sharing those intimate, personal, those matters. They just don't belong. That's all we're asking. You can join this association whatever aisle you're on, whatever preference you have. We're just saying you're not doing that in the classroom. Why would you be opposed to that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's about minimizing distractions in the classroom.
Mm,
We live in a world where probably more distractions than there ever has been for a classroom. So we're trying to reduce those distractions, focus on education, celebrate the teachers that are doing a good job. Put that on your resume. The schools know what they're hiring when they look at your resume. They don't have to
mm.
step on eggshells asking you what you believe in. Are you comfortable sharing this? It's kind of just on your resume. And on top of that, you get to familiarize yourself with other educators and people in public education that believe in the same stuff. So it's kind of it's a win-win situation for everyone, really.
And not be pressured from other teachers who want you to jump on their agenda and try to help push their thoughts out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would
it's tough out there. Yeah.
I would say you're not alone. I would say, you don't
Yeah.
have to stay quiet. There's so many of us out there right now. We just want to make it official type deal.
Absolutely.
And I guess this is kind of my last final message, but like your Christian belief, it's not going to leave you. Okay, so there's no need to hide it in your classroom. And that, like you said earlier, that doesn't mean you're opening up the Bible and preaching from it, but or teaching from
Mhm.
it, but you are definitely following it and you are treating others like Jesus intends to. So
Yeah.
you're engaging with others. If that interaction doesn't follow along with his beliefs, then it's not appropriate. It doesn't belong in the class. Professionalism, it's not wrong. Okay, we're not trying to cause an uproar. Neutrality is not hate. And at the very, very minimum, just teach. Just teach. Just focus on the academics. Leave all
Yes.
the other. We're not trying to indoctrinate children. We're trying to we're trying to educate them and make their lives better. Be transparent of all parents when questionable situations arise. I think being upfront and open and when you need help with a situation that you
Yeah.
see arising, it's much better to let them know.
Yeah.
Sound good? All right. Well, I think that's about it tonight, sir. Anything else you'd like to share with me?
Just, I think at the end of the day, everyone wants the best for students in the classroom, whether it's your own kids or you just care about society in general and you want everything to be
Amen.
improved. I think an organization like this is great. I mean, it's a win-win for everyone. Everyone gets to respect and be neutral in the classroom. And I mean, we gotta get those test scores up across the board, across the whole country. So that's what we're focused on, I think.
Love it. Love it. Please leave a comment on this video, share it, like it. Follow us at ChristianPatriotEducators.org. On X, we're Bold in Belief. Facebook is NACPE. And stay bold. Thank you.
Absolutely. Good night.